Osio, what's up, beautiful souls? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mamina. You can call me Mina for short, or Divine Starseed. This is an intimate reading. It's going to have some 18 plus messages mixed into it. So if intimate, sensual, sexual messages offend you in any way, then you're probably going to want to skip this and look for some other content on my channel. This is a collective reading, so make sure you only take what resonates to and for you. Leave what doesn't. Always tap into your intuition and use your discernment to find out what led you here. You were led for a reason. You're watching for a reason, so it's up to you to figure out and hone in what that is. If you wish to have something more personal, you can book a personal reading, but even with those, you should always use your discernment and intuition. This is for spiritual guidance. This is for understanding of what's going on around you and what's going on around your partner, how they're feeling. We're going to get into their love messages, and then we're going to break down some of the things going on around them, or how honest and sincere they're being with what they feel, so that you know what you're dealing with here, honey. Now, your energy may channel through as you're watching this. You might find that this resonates for you as you. Perhaps you need to send this to your person so they understand your feelings. Either way, darling, we're gonna get to the bottom of it. And again, I keep picking up on Southern people, so if you're from the South, please drop your state in the comments. That would be lovely. We're gonna get into pile 1, and we have pile 2, but before you make your decision, I want you to close your eyes, take a deep breath, inhale for the count of 5, hold it for the count of 5, and then slowly release it for 5. If you have a hard time breathing in for that count up to how long you can inhale. You're going to hold for that amount and then slowly release for that amount. I recommend pausing the video and doing this a few times until you feel grounded and centered before you make your decision. Now, pile 1, pile 2, these are your options here. And these are the complementary decks to this. And then I have some other decks to get into. Pile 1, we're going to start with you. All right, pile 1, I was moved to get a sense of flavor on your person. I was moved to go to the drinks for it. Now, your person doesn't have to be a drinker. You don't have to be a drinker, but the flavor or the essence that I channel from these drinks might be, about your person. Could be their characteristics, could be your characteristics. Let's see what's going on with that. We have Vodka Absolute. We have the Absolute Vodka. Hopefully I'm holding that in front of the camera. Gonna put that over there. What else do we got? We have matcha tea. So you're dealing with somebody that can be stubborn, a little hard, or rough around the edges, can be a bit strong too. Whenever they feel that they're right about something, it's really hard to try to educate them otherwise. I don't want to say that you go out your way to like prove your person wrong about something, but it does feel like when you say, no, that's not the way it goes. If they think they know, it's like, no, that's the way it goes. And they could be very stern about it. There's somebody that might have to learn things the hard way. So these are going to be interesting messages that we get into if that's the case. You could also be this way. You could also be someone that sometimes it's hard to tell you anything. Like, it's hard to tell you, hey, this is not necessarily the way to do this, or that might be a better way to do blah, 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 blah. You might sometimes both kind of clash because you're very strong. The matcha tea, this is boba. This is matcha boba tea, and I feel like they're sweet, but on the surface to a lot of people, they probably seem bitter, or they probably seem a bit harsh. Not that matcha is a harsh flavor, but if you drink it by itself without anything to sweeten it, it does have a certain bitterness to it, like an earthy. They could be an earth sign. They could be Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. I'm also picking up Scorpio, funny enough. So they could be a water sign as well. Or, these can be their placements. If it's not in their zodiac, then they have similar attributes to them. They could be someone that's really hard-headed, somebody that's really strong-willed, a person that likes to be practical from time to time. Someone who likes to get over hills and mountains on their own just so they can say, I did that. I did it myself. I built that stability for myself. And this can make you guys clash from time to time. However, when they commit to something seriously, it's absolute. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So whether it's commitment to a connection or commitment to, again, a way of thinking, they're very serious about that commitment, and it would take a lot for them to budge on it. So I'm also picking up some of you might be dealing with a person that might not have been faithful at one point, and or liked a lot of attention. With this absolute vodka, I feel like they like sometimes, even though they're kind of hard, they like being the life of the party from time to time. Again, take what resonates to you, leave what doesn't. Some of those traits could be yours, and it's just an explanation as to why you and your partner could get along or could sometime clash. We're going to tap into my soul sis Walu Child's love messages. This is volume 1. The group 1 chose, so let's see what's the love message from your person. What your person got to say. Let's see. It's a love message from your person. First thing out. There is someone else dating exclusively multiple people. So remember what I said about the cheating thing? I actually feel like they fear it's someone else. So some of you who chose this pile, you might be in separation with your person. You or your person might have dealt with a karmic like energy. This feels like one of you wanted to be exclusive. One of you wanted to keep dating. One person might have pretended like, oh, okay, all right, it's just you, but they kept flirting with someone else, or they kept being interested in someone else. Now, and I'm feeling like this is probably your person, now that you might be finding yourself saying, you know what, I'm really tired of that back and forth game. I'm tired of arguing with you about this, or I just don't feel like dealing with it. Maybe you pulled your energy back first. Now they're sitting there like, is there someone else? Are you the one talking to somebody else now? Are you not interested in me? I feel like you might have put some distance between you and this person. Yeah, I'm seeing somebody call and call and call, and a person's not picking up a phone. I see a purple case. There's like decorations on it. Maybe it's bedazzled, like someone has a purple phone case bedazzled. It doesn't have to be your style, but that's for someone here. Or maybe you like purple bedazzled things. But I'm seeing a phone like ringing and ringing and no one's answering it. It's like, you know who it is. Maybe they have a ringtone or something, but you're not picking up. This could also be them. Remember, you could be cross-watching. If marriage was still sacred, I would gladly marry you. So this person makes excuses. This person makes excuses. This is the vibe I'm feeling from that, because they feel something special about you. You're not like everyone else. They don't really want to treat you like everyone else. But they've lived doing what they've done, the way that they've done it, for a very long time. So if they're used to really not being in relationships that are too serious, remember, when they commit to something, they're very serious about it. So if they're afraid of committing to a person with everything they have and that person screw them over, then they probably settle for just hopping into situationships. You know, like, oh, it's just a situation I'm dealing with. Oh, it's just someone I'm having fun with. Because the moment it goes from I'm just having fun, it's just a situation, and it turns into, wow, this is my girl, my man, whatever, all of a sudden they find themselves committing in a way that scares them, because what if the other person doesn't do it back? What if they come on too strong? It's a lot of anxiety around commitment for this person. However, they don't want you to go to anyone else. They don't want you to fall for anybody else or be attracted to anyone else. So they might say little things like this to try to make it seem like, I would give you everything if I could, or, you know, when the time is right, or when I'm ready. One of you is a person that really wants a solid connection. You don't want situationships. You don't want whose maybe, possibly baby could be. That's not what you're trying to do. You're not trying to be somebody's baby mama. You're not trying to be somebody's baby daddy. You want a real connection. And they want to give you certain things like girlfriend experience, boyfriend experience, for those of you who know what that is. But they're not giving it to you completely. It's like, be here for me, but I'm not quite there for you. And I feel like some of you are just over that. They make excuses though, because they're scared of what they feel. So they make excuses like, yeah, I would marry if marriage was sacred. The marriage being sacred depends on the two of you, not what everyone else in society is doing. In fact, how you translate what something like that would be between the two of y'all. So if they're spending so much time thinking about, I mean, the only thing I feel them fearing, honestly, to keep it blunt, is commitment. They're afraid of commitment. They're afraid of giving all and the other person screws them over, or because they're constantly scared that they F up, although in other words, they fall back on their old ways and then they lose you. So either way, they're kind of assed out. That's their fear, is just being out. I feel like they've had you hanging on a thread before. We got 2 more cards. You are in my heart and mind. They can't get you off the brain. They can't, they feel for you. They're just not allowing themselves to fully connect. Then we have, you need to choose what you truly want. I feel like that's projecting, but this could also be your energy coming through for them. You know, this can be you saying, listen, you're the person that needs to choose what you want, because you're the individual talking about there's someone else trying to act like you're not feeling me the way that you clearly are. But the moment it looks like I'm doing something new, I'm doing me, all of a sudden you're asking me, is there someone else? We're either exclusive or we're not. But this tit for tat game ain't it. And then they're like, well, I would marry you if marriage was sacred. Well, the sacred of marriage depends on the two people that want to be together, not everybody else. So at the end of the day, this is a commitment issue. That's what it boils down to. Then we have them saying, well, you are in my heart and you are on my mind. And you're like, listen, play it. Whatever you want to be. I'm going to need for you to decide what you truly want, because I'm not going to be sitting around here waiting all day. I feel like somebody's really fed up and they're starting to realize that you're fed up, and now they're ringing your phone off the hook. For those of you who have been, somebody's ignoring this person's calls. They hear the phone ringing and they're not answering it. It's like they want that person to feel what it's like when they're not available. Like, oh, okay, you wouldn't answer my calls. You kept making excuses when you were running around doing whatever. So now I'm busy. Now I got something to do. Let's hop into, actually, I'm hearing let's hop into the tarot next. So let's go ahead on and check the tarot. I tried to stop this sound in my background for a second. So if you guys hear like this brrr noise, that's my light. This light thingy. Sometimes it does that. I tried to turn it off and turn it back on, but it's still doing whatever. Anyway, let's go ahead on get into the tarot. Ignore the sound, darling. Ignore. Let's see what's really going on with this person. What's really happening with this connection for pile 1? Thank you, Spirit. What's happening with the connection for pile 1? Oh! Child. It goes back. My regulars, y'all probably gonna be like, here we go. Yep, here we go. I told y'all. Some of these divine counterparts are gonna be going through towers until they get their ish together. They're gonna find themselves running into constant lesson after lesson until they figure out the dang blessing. And the blessing comes when you learn the lesson. When you actually take accountability and you learn what the problem is, then you get the solution, and not a moment before. For some, I feel like there's going to be, no, there already is. Oh, okay, I heard there already is. There's a drastic change coming to a person who was thinking this way, a person who kept making excuses. Something's shifting them. There's something either in your behavior or something that they've realized. I feel like someone's counterpart, this isn't for everyone, but remember, collective reading. Someone's counterpart, they've been having like nightmares. I feel like the nightmare, it's you somehow leaving them or being taken from them, or them kind of being closed off from you. I'm just seeing a person, it's like they're running in the dark, trying to catch up to you. Somebody's going through a sudden change because of something dramatic happening either in their dreams or just overall in life. I feel like something, and I'm going to do more content about this, guys, don't worry, but I've been telling you for a while, dreams are very important right now. It's important for you to pay attention to what you see, and I feel like your person might have been someone that would typically write that kind of thing off, like, oh, it was just a dream, it's nothing. But they're having a repetitive one over and over again, and it's like every time they try to have a different outcome in the dream, it shows like they still lose you or you still get away. This has them this is playing into the fear, but in a different sense now. And instead of it being fear of commitment, it's like, aren't you afraid if you never have him and her ever? If you can never be with them ever, isn't that more scary than if you actually took your chance and possibly had a blissful life with them? Or at least you get the answer to your question of if y'all are meant to be, versus this whole push them away, pull them in, push them away, pull them in. Don't let them move on with no one else, but never really commit to them. Like that energy, it's not good. And it's starting to reflect. I feel like they might also be having dreams of you doing this to them, like what it would feel like to be in your shoes and have that happen to them and be the person who feels vulnerable in the moment. Either way, it's creating this like drastic, I need to change and I need to change today kind of vibration. So that might be another reason why they're ringing the phone off the hook, is they're calling you after waking up from a bad dream, or they're calling you after getting some type of feeling of dread, not in the sense of something happening to you, but in the sense of like, one day you're going to call and she or he's not going to answer. One day you're going to knock at the door and they've moved. You know what I mean? Like they're not even, it's just going to be like they disappeared off the face of the planet and you're the only person with the memory. Like this is freaking them out. They're really freaked out. Some of you may have to answer the call, but that's your decision. Okay. I'm not here to tell you what to do, darling. I'm just telling you why they might be ringing the phone like they're tripping, because they are tripping. But for others, your person is going through, look at this Tower. This is very destructive. And I tell you guys all the time, the Tower is not always destructive. The Tower is not always bad. Sometimes it's just, that's how quick something's changing. It's so unexpected, but it needs to happen. These are people going through this kind of energy because they need to get themselves right. They've been procrastinating, putting it off, and that's just not allowed anymore. It's just not. It's like, get yourself together or live in the rubble of what you've created. But you can't ask somebody else to be stuck with you. You might be feeling this. You might sometimes feel that you're masculine or feminine. They feel heavy. Remember, we have this, you are on my heart and mind. Like sometimes their heart might feel really heavy. Their thoughts might feel endless. And you're picking up on it like, this ain't me. I'm not the one feeling this way. Oh yeah, their cup is running over. Their emotions are overflowing right now. Overflowing. And they really just want to connect with you. They really just want to come to you with everything that they can, but they can't do that if they're not going to go through a full renewal. If they're going to try to come back and play the same games they were playing before, or make up the same excuses before, it's not going to work out. So something's constantly showing them. Every time they try to get away with something, every time they try to be sneaky, something in their life goes off, something goes wrong, and then they're back to square one, because Spirit's like, you need to cleanse. If you're going to come to this person, you need to come with a whole new beginning. You can't come with the same mess of before. You can't come with broken promises. You can only come with ones that you know you're going to fulfill. And you can only do that if you know how to replenish yourself. Somebody's person doesn't have a lot of love for themselves. And that's part of the reason that it's hard. It's not, again, they like excuses. I remove excuses. It's not that they can't love you, and it's not that they don't have love for you. They don't allow themselves to feel just how intense they do love you. They don't allow themselves to feel how intense this connection is, because it's some out there thing to them. This probably is a person that, even if they practice spirituality, they nitpick it. I tell you guys that all the time. You get these people who get into this stuff and they nitpick at what they're going to take serious and what they're not. It's a game to them. And when stuff like this finally hits them, when they finally start picking up vibration, they finally start picking up divine connection, all those excuses, all of those trying to find a way to have multiple people, if that's not the kind of thing that y'all were ever really into, it goes out the window. It's just all those philosophies that weren't really that philosophical goes out the window, and they end up having to come in with something new, something that replenishes the soul instead of something that depletes the soul. So this has to happen. These Groundhog Tower days have to happen. And while masculines have been going through them the most, please don't think that there aren't divine feminines going through the same thing. Whichever party has had a hard time committing like they're supposed to themselves, least of all to someone else, is going through it right now, okay? I really feel like that you need to choose what you truly want is coming from the energy of the person dealing with this individual more so than them. Yeah, but didn't I say they were having nightmares? Didn't I say they were having nightmares? Nightmares of you being with someone else, nightmares of you not choosing them even if they choose you. Boom, child. They're trying to move forward with you. They're not trying to stay stuck in the same position, but at the same time, they feel like there's so many obstacles in the way. And honestly, a lot of those obstacles it's their own thinking. It's their self. They're having a hard time balancing the heart and mind, emotion and thought. So while we're talking about their thoughts, let's get into the shadow side. Let's tap into that. Some of these messages might be explicit. We're going to use Shadow Soul Messages by my soul sister Rachel of Angelic Revelations 144. I am sorry I haven't told you that I love you. Did I call him or did I call him? Call you out on your mess. They make excuses. And a part of those excuses also deal with how they tell you they feel. If marriage was sacred, I marry you. Stay my man or woman forever, but let me never really give you the honor that you're asking for that might be special to you. Let me not give you that, but let me do things that keep you right here next to me, even though I'm only giving you like little crumbs. Let me explain something, because some of you might be this person. We are not, I'm going to repeat this again, we are not in the Piscean age. This is not la la land, darling. You have to give what is truly in you to give. You're an abundant being, so stop playing with people. If you don't know how to get yourself together so that you can heal, to have that person is a part of the blessing that comes to you, but you are the solution to your own problems and the answer to your own questions. And if you can't allow yourself to be honest and say, hey, this is what I want, and regardless of what happens in the connection, regardless of what goes on, I'm strong. I can handle that. I deserve the love at the end of the day, and I deserve to fight for the love at the end of the day. If you can't do that, what we talking about? That's why them tower moments keep happening. That's why them nightmares are happening. This isn't somebody punishing you. This isn't some divine, because sometimes these, I'm feeling like someone here feels that when they get these dreams. Like, I'm a spiritual person. I'm dealing, then stop half-assing it. I keep it real around here. If you're going to be that. Don't pretend. Because if you keep pretending, you're going to keep, listen, play stupid games, you get stupid prizes. That's your stupid prize. It's breaking down all those old ways, all those old ideals and beliefs, and I can have my cake, eat it too, and all that other jazz. I get it. A lot of us don't like the saying because it seems silly, but we know what it means at the end of the day. You expect to eat the cake, and then it's supposed to be there when you've already devoured it. That's not how it works. You want this person? Show them you want them, but don't keep asking them to sit around and wait on you while you play eeny, meeny, miny, mo with whoever comes in out your life. That's not how to end. Meanwhile, you don't want them to move on. I'm going to keep you on a leash. I'm going to keep you on a rope. Now, if it ain't you and it's your person, I said what I said. If it is you, I still said what I said. Moving on. Oh, look at that. Is my camera showing this? I don't want it to blur. Focus stuff. Would you give me another chance? Damn, I want you back. Yes, I do now. I want you back. Ooh, ooh, baby. I want you back. Yeah, 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 yeah. Na, 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 na. The fact that this deck makes me and Walu think of Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5 just channeled in. Yeah, they want you back, all right. I want you back because when I'm with you, I feel replenished. I feel renewal. I feel new. Okay. Come in with the new then. It can't just be one side giving somebody the new and the other side's giving them the same old thing. That's not how this goes. That's why they're having these nightmares. That's why the anxiety is so high, because they're like, I really just want you back. You don't understand. Trying to live without your love is one loss in this life. Let me show you, girl, that I know wrong from right. Ay. I'm still hearing that song in the background. It's forever. It's been forever, and I can't forget you. I am haunted by your presence. So I'm ringing your phone over and over again, over and over again, Some of y'all who are watching this, you were probably wondering, why are they calling me? I thought they were, the big one. I thought they were player. They had it all figured out, didn't really need me. They were so absolute, right? They were so right in their bull. They just knew that their bitterness was sweet. And now all of a sudden they're like, but I need you and your presence is haunting me and I can't forget you. And I have these dreams where it's like I lost you forever. Please come back. Don't go. Please don't go. If somebody remembers that artist's name, please put it down because it's been channeling in a while. And I've had so many songs channeling that it's hard to keep up. I told you guys before, it's like a radio in my head. But I keep hearing that now. I'm hearing, I want you back and please don't go. I want you back. Please don't go. All right, we're going to move on. Let's go to the red. We're going to go to Red Hot Love by V from V Love and Crystals. Woo-wee, pile one. Child. All right, pile one. Let's see. Let's get some more clarification on this. They feel all alone. Lonely, I'm so lonely. I have nobody. Once again, I'm seeing a phone, but for some reason, I'm seeing a purple bedazzled phone case. I don't know why. I'm guessing that's someone's phone case, but it's purple and it's like tricked out. It's very stylish. It's not like little kid bedazzled. It's really stylish. It's like kind of like when they get all fancy with the Starbucks cups, but a phone, if that makes sense. Maybe somebody really loves Starbucks because I just saw Starbucks in like really big bedazzled letters. So you might be someone that's really into like cutesy things, or maybe this is their energy. They're into something cutesy, but the phone is ringing and ringing and ringing. The sad part is, you're not even like hanging up on them. You're just letting it like ring. And that's worse because they hear it. It's like, okay, they're going to pick up. They sent me to the voicemail. Like, you're not sending them to voicemail per se. You're just letting it ring and go there naturally. And with each ring, their anxiety goes up. Like, seriously, you're not going to answer the phone? You really not going to answer the phone? They are so lonely right now. It's part of that tower. That tower said, that tower is divinely placed. And it said, listen here, you're going to learn from your ish. You're going to learn. You're not going to keep doing this. I deal in divine connections. This is a divine connection, but somebody's been playing around too much, not taking it seriously. And I feel like, whether this be male or female, there's a person who, they're on a journey, but it's like sometimes they use their spiritual journey as an excuse to do playette-like things and act like that's okay to do with a person that's made it clear. I may not judge others for what they want to do, but that's not what I'm about. I'm about one partner, being committed to that partner, having my family. I'm not here to be a baby mama and then there's like 18 other, or baby daddy, and then there's like 16 or 18 other people that you're with on the side, or like, ooh, somehow I appear to be the main in public eyes, but behind my back you're talking to. You understand that that's an energy exchange. They don't want to face that fact, but they're starting to have to. I feel like they are picking up bad vibes from people that they were with once before. Remember what I said about they want that new romantic beginning with you, but they got to come correct. They got to come correct for it. You can want it. That's perfectly fine. But you got to back that one up with action. It can't just be one alone. They're tired of, I'm so tired of being alone. I'm so tired of going on. Won't you help me? This person likes some old school songs. I feel like they're young, but they like old school songs. Some of you are dealing with, of course, whatever you're dealing with. But I'm picking up on someone that's also young. And I feel like they loved oldies, but they really didn't get it until this connection. Like, they didn't get it. You know what I mean? It was like, oh, that's not, yeah, Lil Al Green. I wish y'all know about it. Until the moment this happens, and they're like, oh my God, all those songs make sense now. I thought I knew. I had no idea. I'm so tired of being alone. I'm so tired of going on. They don't want toxic connections anymore. They realize that's what's bringing on the nightmares. That's why your presence keeps haunting them. But here's the thing. When they were tolerating toxic behavior from other people, they were also doing toxic acts, and they were bringing that to your door. And they thought it was cute back in the day. Not anymore. Not anymore. They're like, I'm done with that. I don't want that no more. I want the new beginning. I don't want the toxic stuff. Whew, because they've had a breakthrough. They've had a breakthrough. That's the only bottom of the deck I was led to look at here. You see how like those red and white lines, like someone's starting to realize that their cardinal needs, it's not that sex isn't sacred, but they were playing at it. They were playing around. They were just going at whatever, who they like the attention. And now all of a sudden they're realizing, but what I really want is that enlightenment. I really want both to merge and be perfectly in balance and not be just in my party animal phase, for example. Like I said, they like attention. Even if they're hard around the edges, they like attention. Let's get into the intimate messages. I keep hearing it. I'm so tired of going on. I'm so tired of being alone. Won't you help me, girl, just as soon as you can? Because your pleasure is their priority now. They did a lot of things for their own pleasure. Even for those of you that were intimate with this person, even when it came to sex, yeah, they liked getting you there. They like getting you off. They like seeing you go through the emotions. But a lot of times it was for their own praise and glory. Now that they have time to sit back and reflect on it, it's like it's always been special with that person. It always felt different with that person. This is the individual that actually, okay, that's a little too much info. Person almost called you. I think that person's name almost slipped. Hold up. If a name slips through, I will say it. If it channels, I have to. I just heard someone say, you're the only one that can make me come quick. So you're the only person that could get them so over the edge that with anyone else, it's like, okay, I can do this for an hour. But with you, it's like, wow, that just happened. Shit, round 2, round 3, round 4, we can go 5. You know what I mean? But they want you that bad. However, they were selfish in it. Even though they felt all that newness, even though that pleasure didn't compare to anyone else, they still tried to think of it as, yeah, I put it down, or I did that, me. And this is whether they're masculine or feminine. They were very confident in their sex game. Now they're realizing, but that wasn't just sex. That wasn't just carnal need. That wasn't just root energy. That was something else. That was leading me to a more enlightened state, and I threw it away. I tossed it out the dang window. Or I've been tossing it out the window. Now I realize your pleasure also has to be my priority, because if I take priority in your pleasure, I'm also pleasing myself, which is what real connections are. Real connections are, you get pleasure from what you're able to also achieve with the other person and for the other person. We're not taking all that. Go ahead, touch it, bring it, pay it, watch it, turn it. I don't know why that channel. Maybe that's someone's song, because I have no idea why that channel. I'm literally hearing the boom, 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 like the beat from it. It's something about the beat. Did somebody get jiggy with it in the back of a car to touch it by Busta Rhymes and Ride Digger and all them? Did y'all? Ooh, y'all scandalous. Scandalous. They don't want you to ask. Don't ask. Like if they show up, or if you show up, you give them another chance. They're like, don't ask. Just grab it. It's yours. Touch it. It's yours. Do something. I've went too long. I'm so tired of going on. I'm so tired of being alone. Help me by just touching it. This is like the equivalent of sit on my face, just sit. Don't ask me questions. Don't ask about my well-being. Just do it. This is that. Like, what you know the look I give when I blah, 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 blah. Like, this person really doesn't want a whole lot of conversation when that moment comes. The desire for you, they might be having dreams where they're making love to you or they're being intimate with you, and then it's like the moment's just snatched away. Like, you just disappear right before they peak, right before, you know what I mean? That's just horrible. But it's what they're seeing, okay? As if it channels, it is what they're seeing. Poor things. They're just waking up so unfulfilled. We have pull my hair. I feel like that's both masculine and feminine. There's a masculine with like I'm seeing it's like a fro, but it's curly. Like, who can I compare that hair to? It's thick. It's black, it's thick. It's more so curly at the top. I think the edges look trimmed down. Yeah. They have a shape up around the border, but for the most part it's a lot of curls, and it's really curly near the top. It's like really thick hair though. It's not looking too fine, if that makes sense. Like fine thin hair. It's very thick hair and it's very curly. It's really pretty. That's what I'm seeing for a male. For a female, I'm seeing really like a thick, almost like a little fro, or at least when it's out, it's like a little froey. Doesn't have to be your feature. Collective reading, different things channel in, but they like their hair pulled. I feel like they want you to let your aggression out on them. Like, I messed up, and I know I'm just coming back around, and you probably looking at me like, really now? Just take your aggression out on me. It's okay. I deserve it. And I really want it. So just do it. We just used Songs of the Siren by Jennifer Divine Moon Empress. We're going to go into Fire Witch's Erotica. We're going to get into their erotic feelings as if we weren't getting erotic enough. No, we weren't, because we can actually be far more than this, but I'm keeping it light. Try not to go too explicit today. I do feel like if this group could, they would, but they're too busy crying. The counterpart that's messing up is too busy in their feelings. Let's see, what's going on? What's their dreams about when they're erotic? Somebody really likes your feet. Someone has a bit of a foot fetish here. I feel like it's more of a shoe fetish, because I just seen like a closet full of shoes. I feel like somebody thinks that, and this is whether you're male or female, somebody thinks like your shoe game is on point. Like, you know how to rock sneakers with like a classy dress somehow, or you know how to keep your kicks on point. I'm hearing somebody be like their kicks is on point. Something about your shoe game. I feel like they think your swag matches their swag, if that makes sense. Unforgettable lover. Unforgettable. That's what you are. What I tell you? No one else compares to you. Nobody. They can't do it like you. They can't make them feel what you can. And at first, they took that pleasure for granted. They tried to put it all on themselves. Like, yeah, I'm the queen, da 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 da. I'm the king, blah 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 blah, king ding-a-ling, whatever. And it's like, no, this was an exchange. This was an energy exchange. And all that trash they used to talk and oh, I can be with anybody because blah blah blah. When they do that so-called exchange with other people, they're starting to feel how toxic it is. Yours was purifying. Yours was gratifying. Other people's is toxic. It drains them. It tires them out. Whether they're male or female, it doesn't work. It's just not working. I feel like some of them went, whoever left whom, somebody like ran off calling themselves going to go get a quickie from a regular or whatever, and it wasn't what they thought it was going to be. They kept doing it. You know how people keep doing something that's clearly silly? Yeah, they kept doing that silly thing, and it kept ending up in the same result. Now they're sitting there like, oh, come on. Well, Spirit's trying to tell you something. Naked, tender love and care. Naked, tender love and care. There's nothing like being completely vulnerable with you. I feel like to them, nakedness is vulnerability. They held back being vulnerable. Now they wish they had enough. We're going to go into one more deck and then group one, pile one, we're going to call it. We're going to use A Passionate Love Affair. Another one of Rachel's decks here with their romantic feelings. There's a lot of communication that needs to happen in this connection. I'm not saying just open the door and just let them rush back in. No, they need to respect your boundaries. They need to respect the things they didn't respect before. But if you answer that phone, it's not that they're not being sincere, but both of you can't go about this the way you were going about it before. That's the bottom line at the end of the day. They can't think they can come in and like, okay, everything goes cool, and then they mess it up again and think that that's going to keep being. You're not of a rotating door. You know what I mean? And for you, you can't just let them get away with a little bit of something and then kind of be mad, and everything has to be different. Real communication has to happen. Real affection needs to be shown. Y'all can't be pretending to be hard, like, oh yeah, I don't cry, I don't, nah, all that's played. It's played. We have ride, grind, slip, and slide on rock hard pole all night long. Oh, somebody's flexible. So we got somebody loving a shoe fetish. Somebody has a shoe fetish and loves your kicks, and someone's person is flexible. Could be them, could be you, could be both of you. Somebody has very like acrobatic sex. I'm gonna just put it that way. We have I want you to want me like you can't breathe without making love to me, because that's how they feel right now. And something about the bed is taking me right back to that Nine of Swords. That's how they feel. They don't like waking up without you. That's a nightmare in of itself. Here we go with naked again. Naked, tender love and care. And now we have naked in a hot tub. Don't hold back. Remember what I said about the go ahead and touch it? They don't want you to hold back. They don't want you to ask questions. Just do. I'm feeling one more for this group. One more. Who wants to be master first? You can take the lead. They don't even care. It's like, I tried to control things before, that did not work out. And this isn't for control purposes, but it's like, if you need to be in the position of being the one calling the shots, so be it, as long as it means that you're going to stay with them. And group one, my darlings, that was your reading. I pray that that resonated with you, gave you some clarity that you needed. Peace, love, and light, beautiful soul. Pal 2, what did it do? We're gonna get to you now. I feel like this group has a lot of sexual tension, some hard-headedness, but for the most part, there's a lot of sexual tension here, a lot of craving, a lot of desires. We're gonna break all that down. First, we're gonna get into your person's flavor. We're gonna use the drink charms. You or them, you don't have to be a drinker. I'm just gonna channel what the drink is representing for you, okay? So let's see what the drink or drinks are. See how many we get. We got 2. Got 2 drinks. We have, oh, this is blue. This one is, I can see the name. It looks like a, what's that blue drink that they mix to make the hawk thing? Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. They mix it with orange juice. You know what I'm talking about. It looks like that drink. But I just heard smooth like fine wine. It's a blue drink, but I heard smooth like fine wine. I feel like someone's nickname is blue, or yeah, something about a favorite color or a nickname is blue. Might be a they keep showing me the hawk drink. I'm seeing somebody pour the blue drink with the orange juice to make the hawk drink. Like you don't want to make them angry. They're over the top when they're angry. The other drink that we have here is ginger beer. Whoo! Whoo! Somebody is spicy. Spicy, okay? So somebody gets pretty spicy, maybe a little feisty when they're set off, but they're also kind of smooth. Like, it's something about them that's just so smooth. I just heard popcorn player. Popcorn player. Not that they're a player, but they're smooth. Like, everything they say has a certain vibe to it, you know? But when they get temperamental, this could also be your energy. You could be somebody that when you get temperamental, you're really spicy, you're really feisty. It might be what they love about you. Again, you're a sexual group, so you're probably the kind of group that like to tick each other off just so y'all can have angry sex later. I wouldn't put it past y'all being that kind of group. But this is collective, so only take what resonates with you. With that ginger beer, I feel like, funny enough, somebody here in the group has a healing effect. It's like the old ginger ale, you back in the day, and even today, people be like, oh, you don't feel good? Drink a ginger ale. And that's what I just heard, like, drink a ginger ale, you'll feel better. Someone has a healing effect, but they might have to sometimes be a little harsh in order to have that effect. So when they hit you with the truth, it might be like a harsh truth, or maybe this is your vibration. It's not that it's said like, how can I put this? It's not said to be mean. It's just they're not going to sugarcoat. So it's like, I'm going to tell you what it really is. I'm not out to hurt your feelings, so please don't take it that way. Here's what it is. And then when they tell it to you, they give it to you raw. They don't, again, they're not trying to be mean. It's just you asked for honesty and that's all they can give you. So it's like if you did something and you go, did I do the right thing? Did I do the wrong thing? They're going to be like, listen, I love you, but you did the wrong thing. That wasn't wise to do. How would you feel if X, Y, Z? They give you examples that really make you think, and you might be mad at first because you just want them to be on your side, but it's like, I got to be honest with you. This could be your vibration. You could be cross-watching. Could be cross-watching. Let's get into the love message for group 2. Get into group 2 love message. What's your person, what they want to say, what they got to get off their chests. We have in a karmic cycle and or connection. I feel like some are actually ending a karmic cycle, constantly running into issue. That smoothness sometimes might have got them in some trouble, if you know what I'm saying. But they're reaching that point where the old lifestyle is just, it's not it anymore. It's not it. But however, there are still people that they might care about. Could be family, could be friends that are still caught up in that. Take what resonates for you. But some of you might have been dealing with a person that really hung around a bad crowd. Some of you might have been dealing with a person that got down with people they shouldn't have been getting down with. And their name or they themselves sometimes might have got caught up in certain situations, not always the legal kind. And they're starting to want to leave that cycle, or they're already in the process of leaving that cycle. You or them might have been seeing these numbers a lot, the 555, 888, 999. Someone's birthday might be, I just heard May 15th. I've heard, funny enough, I heard May 5th and I heard May 15th. So someone could be born on that day, or maybe something really crucial happened on that day. Not too, it doesn't have to be the last May 5th that passed, but if it's a date that holds significance, if May 15th is a date that holds significance, something might have happened that triggered this, like, I got to put it into this cycle. Maybe they, remember I always warn you guys about trigger warnings. They might have lost somebody. Something's triggering them to change, to get out of it. And so if you guys are taking a break right now, it might have been a mutual decision. If it wasn't, if they pulled away from you, it's because they don't want you caught up in whatever that is. But for others, this karmic cycle, it deals with maybe family or friends, or could be dealing with an ex that tried to come in. They just didn't want that vibration on you. So they're trying to handle it for themselves. I feel like this person doesn't like to make excuses. It's just, they got to be, again, they're honest. They got to be real. If you were dealing with someone that wasn't honest, it was the karmic cycle. They're pretty much letting you know that now. That cycle is what kept me not always being truthful with you. Let's see. Let's move on. See, I'm afraid to let go. Toxicity, patterns, karmic ties, etc. Somebody's individual was caught up in something they shouldn't have been involved in. I'm not so much picking up on, like, and I mean, again, some of you may have a person that dealt with a karmic ex, but I feel like an individual was caught up in a situation that just wasn't good for them. But it's like, this is what I know, and these are the friends I know, and these are the people that I'm supposed to have their back, and they're supposed to have my back. For all of you, it's not going to be something legal. It's just, if my friends go there and they get caught up in something stupid, then what would you expect me to do, to leave them? My answer would be, yeah, because they shouldn't be doing that dumb thing. But for them, it's, I'm going to ride it out. It's that type of energy, kind of like a rider energy. That's not for everyone. For others, it's the patterns. It's having a toxic pattern, a karmic pattern that they just couldn't seem to get out of. And now something's compelling them to do it. A big part of that something is you, but I feel like I'm getting this heavy here. Someone went through something heavy or lost somebody that made them, it doesn't have to be that they, if they're not in a particular lifestyle, it doesn't have to be they lost somebody to something crazy, but maybe a person they admired moved or passed, or is no longer, somebody that they can talk to for mentor and whatnot. And it's got them thinking, like, should I really keep doing this? Somebody's person, again, trigger warning, someone's person might have been on drugs, and that had an effect. And all of it's just getting to a point where it's too much. It's too much to maintain the toxic pattern. they're afraid to let it go because it's what they know. You know, it's like, this is what I know, though. I know. I always tell you guys, people hold on to certain toxic patterns because that's what they understand. That even if it F's them up, it's like, I know it's going to mess me up, but at least I know to expect it and I have an idea of the how. And it's not that those things are really predictable, but they feel they are. And there's this odd, twisted sense of security that comes in that. It's not genuine security, but they mistaken it for that. It's like, if you know, for example, if they know that they have a parent that never believes in them, never thinks they're going to be a good person, and they walk in the door and that person's like, you know what, you ain't shit, and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, they knew that they were going to say that. It still hurts. It still bears weight. They still want to fight. But at the end of the day, it's like, but I knew that they were going to say that. They've been saying that all my life. Why would they say something different? You get what I'm trying to tell you? Well, it's the same thing with these patterns and these cycles. It's like, but I knew I was going to end up in jail, or I knew I was going to end up with that chick, or I knew I was going to end up with that guy, whatever it may be for them. I knew me and this relative was going to fight, but I'm afraid that if I change or if I let that go, not only am I possibly going to be disappointed, but what if I get abandoned? Or what if I'm just absolutely alone? Because even though those people are bad, they were still there. That's how they view it. We have, please wait for me. As they're trying to work this out, as they're clearing out these patterns, as they're being honest about their fears, they're asking you to be patient, which is probably really hard for some of you in this group because again, I feel like someone's pulled away out of a need to not wrap you up in their mess, whatever that may be. Let me move this camera up here just a tad for you guys to see. Hold on. Technical difficulties. Okay. It's like, I don't want you caught up in this. I don't want this to be your headache. I don't want to make you upset. So let me just kind of pull back for a second. I don't feel like it's a complete disconnect. Like they check in or you check in on them. Maybe you guys come by, but you haven't been intimate in a while. Some of you may not have went all the way to being a couple yet. You were entertaining each other, but you didn't go that far, and they want to go that far. You make them want to. This is whether they're masculine or feminine, but there are still fears here. However, they're trying to be honest about it. I've cried over you or this situation. The situation makes them emotional. And that, as much as that might at times make them feel really vulnerable and really weak, this is where the strength is. Being able to actually admit, I want to come out of a karmic situation. I'm afraid to do it. And I've cried because I really, really want to. And I'm like nervous. I'm not 100% sure how to do it, but I am working on it. So could you wait for me? To be honest enough with self and honest enough with you to try to say all of this or hint any of this. They might have said it and you might have been wondering if they were sincere. They are. But that's a big step, because I don't feel like this person is normally a crier. I don't feel like this person, I think normally crying to them is like whining. And now they're realizing that even the way that they thought about how people express emotions was backwards. It's really making them have to wise up and have to mature. We have, I'm more aware than you think. So if you thought you're like, they don't know how I feel. They don't understand how energy works. They don't get it. Everything's an exchange. Da, 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 da. They're like, I'm more aware than you think I am. I know more than you realize I know. And I observe more than you realize I know. And that's why this situation gets me emotional to begin with. We're going to go into the tarot. If we move to go right to the tarot. So that's what we're going to do. I really gotta try and get a better tripod. It's so hard reaching around this one when it's on the table. Let's see. Let's break this down. Let's get to the core. Let's get to the heart of these messages. Look at that. Temperance. There's a lot of... Some of y'all not going to want to hear it, especially, again, this group still has a lot of sexual tension, so some of you may not want to hear this, but there is a lot of patience needed here. I am not putting a timeline on this because the timeline could accelerate. It could just go at a steady pace for a minute. I feel like even when you start talking, and again, if you haven't been intimate, even when that phase comes in, you're going to need to pace it. You're going to need to be observant, use your intuition and your discernment. Don't just rush into something, but don't also take forever on something because you're afraid that if you move too fast. You can't be ruled by fear. Neither one of you. Neither one of you can. They're going through a lot of healing. I tell you guys all the time, when temperance comes out while I'm channeling, it represents the kind of healing and the kind of balance that comes through the actions you take. Sagittarius, drawing back the bow, getting ready to fire it. It comes through that type of energy. How can I be in flow? How can I take the extremes of myself and make them make sense? And me and my solstice Walu, whose deck this is, we call this the Michael Jackson deck. It's not, but most of the male characters look like Mike. And what I'm hearing from this is you are not alone. So they have divine protection. I feel like they have your divine protection. I feel like whenever you sense that your person's going through something, even if you don't talk right away, if it's not a phone call, it's sending them that energy. And they feel that. You may not think they do all the time, but like they said, I'm more aware than you think I am. I feel when you send me the positive vibes. I feel when you might notice I'm afraid and you send me confidence or courage. I am sensing it. They might have told you that. Just because they don't articulate it in high detail doesn't mean they don't feel it. When they say, I heard you say you love me today when I was going through da-da-da-da, or somebody has a father that gets really angry. Like when my pops was tripping on me or whatever, I heard you say what you said, and you might think that they're bull, like, no, because I told them before and that's why they're thinking it. He or she means what they say. But this is the kind of healing that involves action. This is the kind of balance that comes through really alchemizing your capabilities, and this is what they have to do. You can pray, you can help. They're the solution to their problem. They're the answer to their question. You are a part, but ultimately it's on them. So you can be supportive, but you can't take it all on yourself. And I feel like some of you want to, when you feel this person in heavy energy, or maybe this is you and you're wondering, how your person sends you energy, however, you can't just take it all on you. They have to do the work, and they are. They really are. They're trying. Because they're ready for a whole new world. Look at that. They're ready for, remember, toxic cycle, karmic cycle. They're ready for that to come to an end so they want to feel complete. They want to feel whole. And I feel like this ribbon here is actually representing the string, how they feel tied to you. You're a huge part of that new world that they see for themselves, that new beginning, what they're striving for, that rebirth that they want to experience. They have to do it themselves, but they're inspired by you. Maybe it's the way that you comfort them. Maybe it's the way that you've been there. It's just so different than everyone else. I don't feel like they haven't known any sincere people, but not your kind of sincere. It inspires them to do different. There's a whole new, I'm actually hearing, I'm hearing the you are not alone. It's the whisper, words, and I'll come running. That's how they feel. It's like if I just say I need you, you're right there. 2 seconds flat, you're at my door. And that's how they feel about you. They're very protective of you. The energy that's here right now, it's like nobody can say nothing bad about you. No one can come at you sideways. It doesn't matter if y'all don't see each other for a week, 2 weeks. If anybody tries to say anything foul about you, they're ready to go off. But even that cycle, even that need to sometimes, some of these people, they smooth, but they a little rough. Ginger beer, they a little spicy. Even that part has to calm down and operate differently. But I'm also hearing a whole new world, a dancing place I never knew. But now from way up here, it's crystal clear. That's you to them. Like you're this whole new world. You're that unbelievable sight. Ooh, ooh, don't fall on the floor. You illuminate things. You make whatever illusions they dealt with before, illusions or disillusions, you illuminate. You're the light. You're the goddess energy here. This is whether you're masculine or feminine. You have this energy of divine creativity that just comes in and illuminates whatever the dark is. This is someone that's dealt with feeling like they've been in the dark for a really long time. Whether it's every now and then I pick up on these groups that just, they've had really toxic family or friend connections, and it's just hard to come out of it. And I keep hearing the nickname blue, or it's either someone's nickname. I feel like it's a name because the person's calling it like it's a name, but it could be just their favorite color. Or again, because I did pick up on certain activities, it could represent something totally different. Take what resonates for you. But blue is significant. Blue color, hawk drink are significant. And I feel like they like a lot of spice. They like a lot of spice. Let's get into we're going to get into, I started shuffling before I told you I would tell you was. This energy is kind of like, quick. We're going to get into the Twin Flame Astro Intimacy Oracle by Rachel. We're going to hop into that. 2 cards tried to flip, but I want to get a really good shuffle. Let's get a really good shuffle. Let's see what's going on. What's this person's intimate desire? They're like, I'm yours. Don't ever doubt it. Even if sometimes we got to I don't feel like this is a person. Like I said, some of you guys here might have an individual that was dealing with karmics or karmic person, like an ex-lover or whatever. But I'm more so picking up on people that were dealing with karmic patterns, karmic friends, and or family. They don't want you to ever think that their eyes aren't on you. They feel bound to you. Remember I said that red string feel like it represents their connection to you? This woman walking up the steps has a rope tied around her, and then the person's holding the other end. It's like, I'm bound to you. My focus is on you. I'm yours. So don't ever think someone else is really capturing my attention. I'm trying to get myself together because I want to be able to offer you something. You illuminate my world. You're that moonlight in the dark that helps me see. What they need, what they're coming to learn, and what the divine is trying to teach them, and maybe even teach them through you, is that they're also their own light in their dark. They're not just some creature, some beast hidden away like Beauty and the Beast or something. I'm actually channeling Beauty and the Beast right now. They're not the beast just in a castle by themselves. And even in that story, while Belle helped to inspire the love had to already be in the prince's heart. It had to already be something there for her to pull out in the first place. So all of that shadow that they feel that they are, or it's not a bad person per se, but whatever that is, Spirit's trying to show them, no, you're not alone. Just like you think that person is alone, you're not alone. You have divine protection, and here's your connection. Here's this divine connection to show you that you're worthy. You're worthy of the love this person wants to give you. This is making the passion between y'all and the craving really intense. We have romantic walk. This goes back with that patient energy of like wanting to, some of you haven't been intimate with your person and they want to take things slow. Some of you have been intimate before, but again, they don't want to be, it's like they don't want to be ruled just by that, just by desire alone. Like, let me hold your hand, let me walk with you for a while, let's cuddle, let's have these really deep conversations. Sometimes let's just talk about a lot about nothing. You know what I mean? Just chill and exist with each other. And other times we can just sit in absolute silence and enjoy each other's company. They want something more. They want something more than to just say, okay, I see you, and 5 seconds later I'm on or in your body. Like, no, they want something deeper. But don't get it twisted. They will take it all the way down. No questions asked. Like, it's not even really a temptation thing at the end of the day. But I do feel like if things get a little too hot, a little too heavy while they're still in that trying to heal self phase, that they'll tell you, like, let's slow down for a minute. I feel like this person likes deep kisses. They're a deep kisser. They dream of you touching yourself whenever they're excited, and they touch themselves. You guys feel this telepathically. That's another thing that has the desire on 10. That's another thing that also makes them have to slow down for a minute, because by the time they're physically around you, there's already so much sexual tension from already wanting you, already thinking about it, but trying to take their time. Trying to take their time. We're going to get into Songs of the Siren by Divine Moon Empress. We're going to get into this oracle. They said, I'm yours. Take control of me. Masculine or feminine, this somebody that really does want you in sexual ways to take control or to tell them what you want, but tell them, like, don't ask, tell. And this is because they're so used to having to be the strong person. And in intimacy, that comes across too. That this might be a really strong, if this is, whether they're feminine or masculine, they probably have like a strong physique, or they look like they can carry a lot. They don't want to feel this in sex too anymore. It's like sometimes in sex, whether it's pleasurable or not, they kind of feel like they're carrying the situation, or they have to be in control. They're trusting you to take that control. They're trusting you to just show them pleasure without them having to be the person to say, do this or do that. Lick this way, suck this way, put this here. And they don't want to do all that. You do it. You take over. And I feel like some things they just want you to do. This might have been someone that was really conversational during intimacy. You might find that now they just want to focus on deep kisses, touching. They want to watch you please yourself when you think of them, and they want to please themselves in front of you. I'm picking up that energy really strong. There's actually a card for that didn't come out yet, but I'm picking up that energy. But when it comes to control, even when you're touching yourself, take control in the moment. Remind them that you're doing that because you want to, not because they said so. That's a turn on for them, and it makes them relax more. Woo, that almost flew off the bed. There's something about the first thrust. There's something about that first moment of penetration. If they've been intimate with you before, they've already felt this, but each time feels like something new. Each time they just want to savor that moment. Even when they really want to rush it and they really can't help it, it's like, no, if I could, I would take my time. I'd go in slow. I'd pace it. This is how this person's overheating a lot. Like they're the bottom. They might have facial hair, at least right now, because the bottom of my chin feels hot, and I kind of feel like I want to like stroke my chin. So that person might sometimes, when you're doing sexy things or you're doing something that turns them on, they probably like stroke the hair at the end of their chin. And they may not have a lot, but someone has facial hair, maybe like a little goatee or something like that. This is how a divine feminine may feel too, that there's something about that first moment of entering. Whether it's really slow, whether it's slow and then hard. I feel like I'm feeling patterns here. I'm feeling like someone likes to enter slow, and then right when it gets about halfway, they like to go all the way. Grind a little bit, that's their thing. We get detailed things around here sometimes. They dream of this. But it's the way it feels. It's the sounds that you both make. There's everything about them is sensitive in that moment. Everything about you is sensitive in that moment. If we want to keep it completely 100, we have, I've been yours since the moment we met. Once again, they keep telling you, I'm yours. I don't belong to nobody else. And this isn't, let me be clear too, because this doesn't belong like the way most people take it, where it's like you own whatever it is. This is belong more like how, you know, when you're in a garden, you don't own the flowers, but you enjoy their bliss, you enjoy their company, right? And if it's your garden, you take joy in the fact that those plants are growing on land that you resonate with and that feels like yours. But those flowers are still their own individual energy. That land is still its own individual energy. Well, it's the same thing with people. It's not that you own them. Like, I always say possession is 9/10 of the law in a connection. But on a deeper level, you make them feel like they belong. They make you feel like you belong. It's a sense of security. It's a sense of serenity and tranquility. Not like, you're just the boss of me and that's it. In intimacy, they like you to take control. And again, even if this is a masculine, this masculine, and this is what I'm channeling right now. I'm seeing a woman, she's on top of the masculine is sitting in a chair. His hands are on her waist, but he's not controlling anything. He wants her to have control. He wants her to tell him, this is mine. You're mine. That has his mind blown. Like, this is what he's dreaming of. It's like you writing and telling him, this belongs to me. This my dick. This is what me and you. That's what this is. Again, It might sound intense, it might sound like ownership, but it's not. It's more like it makes them feel like they belong. Like you want them to belong, like being inside you's home. And that's how they feel. So they want you to express that more. I'm trying to hold back on how much I reveal here, because, you know, these, pick a card readings can be long. And a lot channels in, and this ain't a personal reading, this is just collective. All right. And we're only going to get more detailed from here on out, because this is the year of the 6 and everybody's horny, apparently. But this group is very sexual, and it's not just wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. I don't do wham, bam, thank you, ma'am readings. I'm always get to the nitty gritty of the situation. But this one here, it's very meaningful. There's nothing about what this person wants from you, and there's nothing about what you would want from them that doesn't have strong meaning. We're going to get into Red Hot Love by V from V Love in Crystals, or V Love in Tarot. She has two pages. We have 2 cards. Ooh. We have Savage, but I'm not getting a bad thing. I'm getting more like, take me savagely. Tell me I'm yours. It's like they want you to be like a dominatrix. Like, they're probably not against being tied up. I'm just saying. Because it's you. If it was anyone else, they'd be like, what? But because it's you, it's like, all right, if you want to handcuff me to the bed, that's fine by me. But you better ride this shit like you own it. you better show that it's yours, because I already told you, be a savage with it. Just let go. Let all the way go. Don't hold nothing back. This person really is having a breakthrough. They really are. Like, when it comes to the cycles they've been dealing with, and when it comes to your connection, they've never really taken it for granted. I'm not really feeling that from this group, but there have been hiccups. There have been things that got in the way, but every day they're discovering something new, something that makes them just want to push forward, and you're a huge part of that inspiration. I feel like you probably encourage your person a lot, whether it's telepathically, energetically. When you're face to face, you tell them things. It's like, I'm hearing somebody say, and this is exactly how I hear them saying it, you say shit to me in a way no one else does. They're like, you say shit in a way that's just, no one says stuff like that. And if anyone else probably did, they'd be like, what kind of corny, philosophical, weird, what? But when you say it, it's like, that's the best thing I've ever heard in my life. They're kind of fun. Well, I'm not going to say kind of. They're funny. They're a certain kind of funny, but they're funny. I don't think they try to be funny. It just happens. Just naturally happens that way. Intimacy. I told you this is a sexual group. They want intimacy with you. They don't just want sex. They don't just want, they like intimacy. Make love to my mind, make love with my body, my heart. So I need to feel you soul deep. That's what this is. The masculine energy is trying to merge right now. The feminine energy is trying to embrace and hold and take in. This is give and receive energy right now. Let's get into their erotic. Wow, that flipped out really fast. We're using Fire Witch Tarot's erotica. We have, oh my God, it's all yours. Whether this be a masculine or feminine. I mean, I like my confirmations in 3s, and we done had yours. What else said yours? What was it? Has it been 3 already? Or 4? We done had multiple cards say, I'm yours, it's yours, take what's yours. Like, it's yours. They feel like they belong with you, that you two belong together. We belong together. Mariah? That's not a coincidence. I don't really feel like this person has really lost you. So I don't, sometimes I tell people all the time, when you channel music, it's not always about the whole song. It's the part that channels. And what I'm hearing is, we belong together over and over again. I'm hearing the melody and all that, but not too much of the other lyrics. You might have had differences that made you pull apart from each other, and that might, for some of you who haven't went to a full relationship, that might be why. Because sometimes you have these clashes, and they're spicy, and they got a temper, and you're like, I ain't got time for your attitude. For others, you might have been a couple, and sometimes they tick you off, and you're like, you know what, I'm not even gonna talk to you for a week. But I don't feel anything with this group right now, for those of you who are coming in strongly, that there have been like really bad breakups per se, or that you went months without talking. It's just sometimes y'all get mad. You know, like, I don't want to talk to you, you're on my nerves, I don't want to talk to you either. But at the end of the day, you know, you belong together. Like, I'm not getting that the relationship is toxic. I'm getting that they have other things in their life that creates an interference. And sometimes you might have things in your life that creates an interference. You are more inspiring to them because you work through and push through, and you don't let, like, in other words, you don't let people make you bitter. You don't let people dictate what you're gonna feel. You don't allow somebody to make you angry. You can get a little mad about something, but then you tell yourself, why am I giving this person a domain over my emotions? And you get it together. And they've never heard, I've never heard no shit like that before. That's how they feel. Like, what do you mean you're not gonna allow somebody to make you angry? Like, they're trying to understand the words that come out of your mouth sometimes, because it's so unique and fascinating to them. You just make sense. Like, they kind of feel like you shouldn't, but you do. And that makes them look at their situation and go, well, shit, what excuse do I have to not try? To not try to see the world a little bit through their lens. I feel like you give them a different view. We have dropping the sheet. I'm hearing, I don't know this song. It's on TikTok. It's like, I want it all. I want it all. That's what I'm hearing. It's like, I want it all. Just drop the sheet. Just let everything be bare. Just let me show all of myself to you, and you show all of yourself to me. Intimacy. I feel like somebody might have played that game before of like, drop the sheet, or you're in a towel and they're trying to get you out the towel, because I'm seeing somebody look like they're about to chase somebody around a room. We have come over sexy. Hurry up. Don't keep me waiting. The intimate energies and vibrations are just too strong. They're like, I'm not trying to wait, to be honest. Like, I know I gotta get some stuff together, but if I was to be completely real with you, if you call, I'm there. You ain't gotta call twice. I'm there. So they want to take things slow, but honestly, if being intimate comes naturally, they just also want to let that flow. And just, I feel like you guys need to just keep with talking and communicating through the different things that you feel. It's not about radical honesty, but it is about being real with each other. I feel like both of you see the other one as a 100 kind of person. And that's why I feel like this individual has picked up on you sometimes being disappointed in their decisions, honestly. And they don't like disappointing you. They really don't. And you might have sometimes picked up on them perhaps putting you on a pedestal and kind of being angry when you couldn't or wouldn't do certain things that they thought you should have at one point in time. But as long as you guys are communicating, keeping it honest with each other, this is something that can be worked out. It's not, I'm not picking up real heavy insanity, other than some of you are with a person that was dealing with people they shouldn't have. Let's get into we're going to be using Passionate Love Affair by Rachel, another one of Rachel's decks from Angelic Revelations. Sometimes I have to, guys, if you wonder what the name of the decks are, I normally always put them in the description with the links to them as well, should I have the links. What, didn't I tell you that this person is a kisser? They're like when I don't even want to say oh, they're a good kisser. This is a damn good kisser, okay? This person pretty much knows how to have sex with their mouth. And remember I said they wanted you to ride with authority, right? It was pretty much what I meant, ride with authority. We have kiss me, ride me in the car. I just can't wait any longer. They're getting tired of waiting, honestly. They've been working on themselves, and they're like, I kind of feel like I earned this. I feel like I earned this. Like, you should just take charge and just take what you want. Whoever's in that, I'm really picking up a masculine, but again, whatever your occupation may be, the masculine energy is tired of being in control all the time, and you're the only person they trust to take charge and be in control. They don't trust nobody else with that task. And that the guy in that picture has facial hair. And I said earlier, I picked up on somebody that might have like a goatee. We have who wants to be the master first. Not everyone in this group may have felt called to group one, but some of you may have. That's all I'm going to say. This is someone who would take turns. For a while, they'll let you have your moment, and then he also has facial. He has facial hair similar. Let's see, I don't know if that's gonna show. Is that showing? He has facial hair similar to what I was feeling. I feel like a masculine. A masculine's like the bottom part of their face really gets hot whenever they think about tasting you, because they've done it before and your legs have been wrapped around them in a certain way, and so like the bottom part of their jawline right around here gets really hot when they're thinking about either the taste of you or when they're thinking about kissing you. It's something about that sensation. They might have pointed this out before, or you might see them sometimes rub their like rub their beard when they're thinking about and giving you the fuck me eyes. Yeah, that's why. The stuff I see sometimes. I'm trying to like hurry up and get this over with, and this group is like, no, there's more. There's more. Lights on, look me in the eyes. I want to see everything. Drop the sheets. Show everything. Be vulnerable. Own what belongs to you. Claim what belongs to you. And this is all willful. At the end of the day, this person is saying, this is what I feel like I want, and this is what I feel like I need. Wow. I was led to the bottom of the deck. I think this was the only one I was led to the bottom of the deck for. And remember I mentioned roses or flowers. We have, I am hungry for the taste of you. I want to take all of you deep within my mouth. I feel like this is both the masculine and feminine talking to each other. Both of y'all are craving the taste or feel of each other. And I just find it funny I mentioned roses, and then there's the roses. Like they say, don't sleep on the kid. Group 2, pile 2. Wow, that was a lot. I skipped a lot of things because, collective reading and all. But I hope that gave you clarity on your person. It helped you understand some of the things that might have been going on that you may be feeling. Blessings to your union and connection and your person on their journey of discovering who they are and really freeing themselves from anything that wasn't worthy of who they are. Blessings to you. Peace, love, and light, beautiful souls.
Get your copy of Love Confession Cyber Edition. Link in bio.